Hey guys, so I want to talk about depression. Now, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. I have a lot of people that talk to me personally. I have a lot of people that share their testimonies. I have a lot of people that open up to me. Number one, it's an honor. It's absolutely an honor to build that trust with people that they will share things with me. And it's a prideful thing not to break that trust. But somebody asked me what I thought about depression and obesity. And it was a tough question, and I thought about it. I even did some research. But as I always do, I use my journey and I use my thought process. I use my notes when I go back and think, what was me? What did I do? Was I depressed because I was obese, or was I obese because I was depressed? What came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't think there's really an answer. What I do believe is there was a trigger. I do believe that unless you were a obese child, obese teenager, obese adult, I believe that trigger really wasn't there. I believe that most likely your parents created the obese child and you knew no different. You didn't have the discipline to make those changes. And now at 30, 35, 40, 50, you finally are trying to learn, and that's why so many of us obese and biggies are so freaking scared, lost, sad. You could even say depressed. But I don't think depression is the end-all be-all to obesity. I don't. I think there was a trigger. When I look back, when I look at baby pictures, I was a fat little baby. I was 9 pounds when I was born. But 2, 3, 4, 5, I was a skinny little thing. 6, 7, I was a husky thing. By the time I was 10, I was bigger than most kids, but I wasn't grossly obese as a child. But I was always a bigger kid, and I ate like crap. We couldn't afford. I had a mother that worked 2 or 3 jobs, sometimes wouldn't come home when I was 10 or 11 years old. And so we ate what was in the cupboard. And usually it was, like I said, it was a carb. It wasn't, a balanced and a protein meal. If we wanted a balanced protein meal, that was a luxury if we got to our grandparents' house. But someone came to me a couple days ago, and this person is in their 40s, and this person said, I have a problem. When I watch TV and I get bored, I eat to pass the time. 9 times out of 10, I call bullshit. 9 times out of 10, you got to watch a lot of TV to get obese if you're just eating. So I knew there was something. So I responded to this person, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the answer. I'm waiting for what really happened. Was there some kind of trigger? Was there a time in life that something happened? So after a couple of hoeing and humming and this and that, and 2 years ago, there was an issue. Something huge affected this person. And from that time, this person blamed themselves for that situation. And the eating started, the exercise stopped, and the happy living came to a halt. And then that person used food as their comfort. They weren't depressed before. They weren't on antidepressant medication, but they felt they were depressed because of the situation. But the situation was created by that person. So maybe a doctor one day will be able to explain to me, you're an idiot, Biggie, and depression is the end all be all. I don't think so. Myself, which I usually always talk about as far as my journey and the examples that I use. When I was 475 pounds and I looked in the mirror, I wasn't depressed. I was pissed. I was angry. My friends were getting the hot chicks. My friends were going to all the cool stores to get all the cool clothes. I was always getting invited because I was the funny fat guy. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, my dog got sick or, I had to work early. It was because I didn't have the right clothes. Because I always felt that I never fit in. I wasn't depressed. I was pissed off at myself because I knew that I needed to make the changes. If I make the changes, the weight comes off. Okay, great. Well, that lasted like 20 years. So obviously, I was pissed off a long time. So the reason why I don't think it's all depression leads to obesity is because there's a lot of skinny people. There's a lot of big people. There's a lot of everybody people that have their own issues. And you could say they are depressed. I think that this country is a pill-pushing business. I think that if you say, I don't feel good, well, let me stuff some Lexapro or Prozac down your throat and tell me if you feel better. And then those things lead to 10 other issues. I think that if somebody stood up one day, and I'll be doing everything I can to be this person to help, if somebody stood up and finally said, you know what, let's change everything about your lifestyle as far as the way you eat, and when you get bored or you get upset or you get sad or you get pissed and you don't drive through a drive-through, but maybe you go for a walk, but they would rather just stuff a pill down you and then tell you have high blood pressure and then you have diabetes and this and this, and next thing you know, you got 10, 12, 14, 18. I have somebody that I'm recently helping, 22 pills in this person's kitchen cabinet. Because this person believes they have all of these things that are wrong with them. Yet the weight keeps coming up, the pills keep going in, and the medicine keeps saying, just keep taking the pills. There's no help. There's no class to say, let's get you off of these things. So without getting too crazy and too angry and yelling, because I can't stand this pill-popping nation, I can say that I've never been on antidepressant, and I'm not trying to gloat about that. What I'm trying to say is that I was an angry person. I probably needed anger management more than I needed depression medication. I probably needed, some type of therapy, but I was just mad at myself. And I guarantee most Obies and most Biggies I ask, they're mad at themselves too. Because you wake up at 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 and you go, the fuck have I done to myself? Where did we start and where did everything else end? And this is what I try to talk about every single day, is you do the work. So many people are lost. So many people are said, do this, do that, do this, do that. But nobody really has the answer. Do I think I have the answer? I don't think I have the answer. I think I have some pretty good answers about how to take the weight off because I've done it. But it's not good enough for most people because it's too simple. I've had this conversation with you guys before too. I had somebody say, your way is, I'm losing weight on your way, but there has to be a more complicated way to lose weight faster. No, you didn't get fat overnight, so you're not going to get healthier overnight. Stick to the plan. Well, this person recently sent me an angry email and said the plan didn't work for them. They quit. Well, unfortunately, I know this person's brother. Well, the brother told me the truth. This person quit. They were losing 5 pounds a week, and they heard somebody else was losing 20 pounds a week, which is complete crock of shit. So they quit, went to the shakes, starved themselves, and guess what? got so mad because they were starving themselves, they quit. Now this person gained everything back and an extra 15 pounds, and I just received an email from this person 35 minutes ago saying, okay, I'm ready again. You wouldn't have to be ready again if you just followed protocol, but like pills, like these frickin' doctors, like all these other people trying to push magic, there is no magic. Now, I got off topic about depression, but honestly, I believe that if you ask me about an obese person with depression, I believe that with natural eating of healthy foods and exercise or surgery, I believe that you take that person and strip most of their weight off, go get them laid, go buy them some cool clothes from the cool store that's not just the big and tall store. I don't think they're that depressed anymore. Now, I could be wrong, but I've seen it firsthand. This guy, I wasn't as angry when people started giving me attention. And any person that says they lose weight and they don't like the attention, it's a lie. In the beginning, I liked it. But what happened was I realized these people weren't going to be here. They weren't here when I was 475. They're here at 275. So are those people really worth it? No. Most people know that, I'll cut you out of my life quickly if you're not here to support what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to live your life. I'm trying to live my life. And since I lived a third of my life obese, I'm not trying to go out Friday and Saturday night getting drunk, eating where you guys eat. I got bigger and better goals. Not to say you guys don't have goals, but if your goal is to go out Friday night and try to get yourself some ass at the end of the night, that's just not my goal. I like to save my money. I'm not going to drop $150 on some stupid ass drinks filled with sugar because what, you're trying to impress somebody? Not my style. But I'm willing to make a bet, and I'll wait for the comments and I'll wait for the emails because I know I'll get some. An obese person would probably be cured or close to it if they had depression. If you take all their weight off, show them a whole different world that they've only begged to have, I think they'd be a lot happier. I think they'd be a lot less angrier. I could be right and I could be wrong. So what do you guys think? Comments down below. Biggie@eataskinny.com. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are pissed off and if I've hurt your feelings, you get over it, but I'll still give you a hug.